Right. So, hi, Dasha. How are you?
Hello, I'm doing great. Happy International Women's Day to you ladies.
Thank you. You
Yeah,
too.
exactly. So it's March 8th, 2021. And I'm Krissy, the founder of USA Strong, just to give our viewers who we are. This is
Alyssa, head of sales and partnerships. And I had the pleasure of meeting Dasha through email. She actually reached out to us. She became interested in our platform, filled out a form, and then we got to talking and we got her wonderful products up on our site.
And so tell us what is the name of your wonderful company, Dasha?
It's Wellness by Ari, and Ari is actually our daughter's name, Ariella. So we chose to name it after her.
Beautiful.
So let's talk about how we came to be together. I think that it is, first of all, amazing that we're both female entrepreneurs. That's what we're celebrating today, first and foremost. How did you start your company?
So I didn't initially start making candles to sell. I wanted to create candles for our family. After we got a candle for a gift, we burned it, and our little ones had soot in their noses, and that freaked me out because I was like, that's going in their lungs.
Right, the black smoke that, yeah.
So after much research, I learned how toxic candles and synthetic fragrances were. And I was like, okay, we can't burn any more candles in the house. But I was a candle lover. So I did more research, and I wanted to make something just for us to burn in the house and for me to feel comfortable knowing that I'm not releasing toxins in the house. And after doing it for about a year, I fell in love with it, and I decided to start selling it.
So where are you based?
I'm sorry?
Where are you based?
I'm in Matthews, North Carolina.
And where exactly is Matthews, North Carolina?
It's like 15 minutes from Charlotte.
Okay. And do you ever get to go to the beach?
Yeah, we go to the beach a lot with our little ones.
Oh, so how old is your little one that you named the company after?
Well, she's 7 now. And then we have a almost 5-year-old and a 10-month-old.
Wow.
So you're busy.
Yeah. How's it been during this, past year? You're a female entrepreneur, you're a mother. Tell us how have you been dealing with all of these different things during this past year?
So I started off doing pop-ups, and when I found out I was pregnant, I was like, okay, no pop-ups for this year, just to take a break. And then this pandemic hit, which kind of worked out for better for me. Whereas I didn't have to do pop-ups, but sales significantly increased because people were staying at home. So I guess burning more candles. So for me, it was going great.
Right.
So this year was very good for us.
Right. Because you've been figuring out how to convert the opportunity through online sales. You converted your sales to an online channel.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what I think so many people need to think about, is that although so many retail stores may be struggling on the street side, you need to think about converting those sales to online platforms, right? And that's really what we're trying to show at usastrong.io, which is, I think, leads us to the next part of our chapter together of why you reached out to us, I assume.
Yes.
So let's take it to there. So you're made in the USA, right? And that's what we're promoting.
Yes.
Why don't we talk about why it's important for you to make your candles locally?
I don't want to get anything from overseas, especially China. Nothing wrong with China, but we live in the US, so I want to support as much of US made items as I can. So even our beeswax, we only buy beeswax from beekeepers around the US. That way we're getting local beeswax versus from, you don't know where it's coming from. That's why many places where you go and you shop for different beeswax candles, you'll see really cheap prices. You have no idea where that wax is coming from, and if it's actually pure wax, pure beeswax, or if it's mixed.
Right. Well, I think that's a very good point, right? It's about transparency to how something's made, because you don't want to light the candle and have that soot, right? Because you don't think that's beneficial for your child to breathe in. And this way, you know that it's pure and clean, right? I mean, and when I read some of the benefits of your candle, these are incredibly strong points, I think, of why when I opened the box and I started reading, you know, each point. And why don't you walk us through the benefits of your candle?
So beeswax is the only wax that purifies the air as it burns, versus paraffin, which is just toxic. It's just junk. You don't want anything to do with paraffin. Soy is also okay, but it's not as environmentally friendly. Beeswax, when I was looking for wax for candles, is the best wax to burn. It's also very beneficial for people who suffer with allergies. It removes dust pollen from the house. It removes allergens, and it purifies the air naturally as it burns. It kind of works the same way as a Himalayan sea salt lamp. It releases negative ions.
Amazing. It's amazing. And so you source all of these, you know, I would say the honey farm, are they honey farms? What do you call them?
Beeswax?
No, the places where you're getting your.
I can't pronounce it. I am a foreigner, so it's like apiaries or apiaries.
Yeah. Yeah.
Correct me if I'm mispronouncing it.
How did
you're the expert.
Yeah. How did you source the best of the best to put, you know, your candles together? The components being also USA made is amazing, but how did you source it so you knew that you were getting the best components into your candle?
So when I just started, I just bought wax from different online stores, and as I was melting the wax and working with the wax, I didn't smell the honey smell, and I was like, that's weird, because you should be getting some kind of honey smell from this.
Okay.
And so from multiple sources, I was just not getting that. So I started looking for more local, and I found a lady in Florida, and that's all that she and her family does is beekeeping. She has thousands of hives. So I reached out to her and I was like, can I just buy like a pound of wax? And so she sent it to me, and right after opening the box, it was like, you just opened a jar of honey. Yeah. And I was like, this is the good stuff. So after melting it and working with it, I fell in love with it. And that's when I was like, okay, this is it. And then I reached out to her, got more information from her about wax and how she treats her bees and all other kinds of information. And I was like, okay, so this is where I want to stick with, is local beekeepers from the US only.
Yeah. And it's great that you're supporting her, and you know, that's excellent.
So when you open your candles, so this one is the spearmint and eucalyptus. I have to tell you, I feel like I'm immediately in a spa or in a steam room. And, you know, I have a lot of allergies. It immediately clears my sinuses. There's like nothing that I have smelled that is like this. And I think that's a very good way to articulate it. Now I know what to look for in a candle, right?
Yeah.
Smell immediately tells you if it's fake or real. Yeah. And there's little hints like that. I had challenged the community. When you get a box and you open it, you can immediately tell if it's been packaged by a local shop owner or if it came from an unsustainable source, right? If it's packaged in plastic, it's not coming from a local shop owner, right, in the United States, because the local shop owner is worried about the planet and it's not packaged in a bunch of plastic. I mean, there's just little tricks of the trade that you can think about when you're opening something that tells you if it was made by a small business owner here in the States. And now I know something about your candles. When we talk about that, I don't think people understand just how bad it is to shop from Amazon. And, you know, I was Googling your name, Wellness by Ari, and the company name, and I found it interesting that Amazon still is the number one. When we put your name in, they immediately grab your name because there's value to your company name, and they push you to their site, but there's no product there, right? You're not there, right? And we had this happening with another woman, May 11, Romina. She has the same problem, right? Amazon's bidding on her name, but they don't have the products there. And maybe 10 years ago, or whenever you started 5 years ago, you tested it, and then you realized what did you realize when you were maybe testing a product on Amazon?
So when I just started, I did apply to be a handmade seller with them. And when I got accepted, I was like, yeah, this is awesome, like super excited. And then I made some sales and I realized I'm getting robbed. Like after paying shipping and their fees, there's no room for profit. So for maybe for major businesses that work in thousands of, products coming through, that's a great deal for them. But for small business owners, I stopped selling there. I'm in the middle of closing it.
Yeah.
And it's just not worth it. That's why when I found you guys, I was like, what? So like looking at the fees and just how you guys are supporting places around the US, I was like, okay, this is where I want to be.
Yeah. Great. And we are thrilled to have you. We are so lucky and so fortunate to have met you and your family. We are grateful you're on our platform. And is there anything else?
I was curious about the coconut oil in your candles because, part of our whole mission is also, verifying every ingredient and, how do you make these candles? What do you do? Like go like from start to finish.
Okay. So,
well, we have the beeswax honey smell, which is delicious.
Yeah.
But what else?
Sorry, go ahead.
No, what else do you do? We want to hear a little bit about how you make it and, can really say it's made in the USA.
Yeah, so we have to add coconut oil to soften the wax because beeswax is naturally a very hard wax. And I make pillars that I do not add any coconut oil to.
Ooh.
Yeah. And because of the diameter of the pillars, I don't have to soften the wax. It'll naturally burn evenly and it's not going to tunnel. Versus the jars, it's such a large diameter that if I don't soften the wax, it's just going to tunnel right down.
Okay.
So we add a little bit of coconut oil, and it's organic coconut oil we also get locally, and we add that to soften the wax a little bit. And then we use hemp wick because hemp wick is also more environmentally friendly and it's cleaner burn. So we also use hemp wick with our candles, and it produces way less soot versus cotton, which is usually bleached and chemically processed as well. And then we only scent our candles using essential oils, aromatherapy essential oils. We never use synthetic fragrances because they're very toxic to us.
Great, thank you. I wanted to just understand your process and how you, make these. They're wonderful, and thank you so much.
You're making these where? Just you have your own factory, or how are you doing this in Matthews?
I do not have my own factory. Maybe one day. Not something I can afford right now. So I'm doing it at our house for now. So I just pour them in very small batches. So, when you get your candle, it's not like a year old or 2 years old. It's usually within a month or so. I make very small batches to keep them fresh.
Great.
Wow. So the jars, how do we, this is something that I think is very interesting because we found one company that actually can make the glass jars in the US, but that's a very rare thing, right? Trying to actually get the jars made in the US, I think has been a challenge for many candle companies. I don't know if you also have a jar company that's in North Carolina that we can share, or you having to source that someplace else, because that is, I know, a challenge for many companies.
Yeah, I'm currently getting it sourced somewhere else. I can't find anybody in North Carolina. Same with my beeswax. I can't get anybody in North Carolina right now to support enough wax. So I'm getting it from like Florida and Mississippi and just different beekeepers that can produce it. With jars, I'm still looking for somebody that's more local to make some, but it's so hard to find somebody that can make it.
Okay, good. Yeah. So the word is out. We will be sharing the video. So hopefully someone will say, you know what, I'm going to start making that. That's really what
that would be awesome.
It's supporting and hopefully inspiring other women or men to come up with business ideas and join our community. So it's very nice meeting you. Kisses to the family.
Yes,
and we
thank
will see you soon.
So much.
Thank you. Thank you, guys. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Bye.